Did you freak out this week? It's okay to admit it if you did. This was kind of a scary week. It looked like we were running out of gasoline. And if you drove by gas stations or needed gas, you probably had to wait in line at certain places. Thankfully, it seems like a lot of the anxiety is past, and it looks like the distribution and supply chain issues have corrected themselves, and we should have plenty of fuel now. But for a couple of days, it was a little bit scary, wasn't it? It reminded us of last year in March and April and May when people were running out of toilet paper and people were hoarding it, and people that didn't even need toilet paper were going and buying hundreds of rolls. The pictures that we saw this week at the gas stations where people were filling up multiple cans of gas that they wouldn't need for weeks. That put a lot of shock into a lot of people and caused a lot of gas stations to run out of gas just because people were getting gas that they wouldn't need for a while. Demand spiked and anxiety set in, and people were letting the fear dictate how much fuel they bought. And it reminds us of the toilet paper. But it also reminds us that this kind of anxiety over a short supply of stuff is nothing new. Back during the Civil War, there was a flour shortage. And there was a fear of a flour shortage. And so people bought up as much flour as they could, more than they needed. And in Richmond, Virginia, a barrel of flour that was once $20 skyrocketed to $250 for a barrel of flour. Back in 1942, after World War II, people wanted to buy automobiles, but the automobile plants hadn't geared back up. They had been making tanks and all kinds of other things for the war, and there was not enough cars on car lots. And hey, we're seeing some of that now today. And so there was a car shortage, and we're going through a car shortage now. A lot of you remember back in 1973 during the OPEC embargo, and in 1979 during the Iranian Revolution, that we were going through a fuel shortage then too, an actual fuel shortage, not maybe one that was spurred on by a lot of anxiety. And then in 1983, there was a real important shortage, and that's when everyone wanted the new Cabbage Patch doll, and there were just weren't enough to meet everyone's desires, and so everybody ran out, and people were desperate to find the Cabbage Patch dolls. When you think about all the things and all the times that people have reached these heightened levels of anxiety because we're running out of things, it makes me think about what Jesus had to say in John chapter 14, and it makes me realize what he's saying there when he says, "Peace I leave you," and this is verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." Not like the world gives, do I give. The world offers peace, but the world offers peace in stuff, doesn't it? You know, this week, if you didn't have a lot of gas in your tank, you were without peace. And the world said, for you to have peace, you need to get gas, and you need to get it right now. And if you want sustained peace, then you need to get more gas than just today. You need to get gas for tomorrow and next week and the next week. That's how you can have peace. The world says you need to have toilet paper to have peace. And not just toilet paper for now, but toilet paper for 6 months from now. The world says stuff brings peace. And when it's stuff like toilet paper or fuel, it's hard for us to debate that, right? I mean, I've got to have gas sometime this week to be able to get to work and do all the things I need to do. But the world also says it delivers peace in things like money and houses and vacations and status and popularity. That brings you peace. But if you drove by a gas station this week and looked at all the cars there and watched the prices going up and up and up and up and saw some of the behaviors that were taking place, how is that peaceful? That's not the kind of peace. And that's why Jesus said, that's not the kind of peace that I bring. I don't bring the same kind of peace that the world brings. The kind of peace that says you have to have this in order to have peace. And everybody fights to get that peace. Jesus says, the peace I give, the peace I'm leaving with you, it passes understanding. Because you can have peace knowing that you don't have any gas in your tank, or any toilet paper in your bathroom, or any Cabbage Patch dolls in your bedroom. You can have the peace that Jesus offers, the peace that Jesus offers the Christians who are gladly laying down their life for him. What a beautiful peace that is. That's the peace that you can have, the peace that passes all understanding. And we'd love for you to have that peace too. If you'd like to know more about that peace, contact us here at the Central Church of Christ in Johnson City. We'd love to talk to you more about that. I love you all. Have a great day.